AI writing tools, they're everywhere, right? It feels like everyone's got a take on them, whether it's excitement, fear, or just plain confusion. But how is the world of academia dealing with this brave new world of AI? Well, that's what we're diving into today. Vin University's Fall 2024 syllabus for ENGL 1011, Fundamentals of Academic Writing. And let me tell you, they are not shying away from AI at all.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see. What's remarkable about this syllabus is that it's not just about acknowledging AI, it's about weaving it into the very fabric of the course.
Yeah.
The assignments, the activities, it's all there. It's pretty innovative.
So it's not just like, oh, and by the way, AI exists. It's like they've really thought about how to integrate it meaningfully.
Ex-
The syllabus specifically mentions these 3-2-1 tasks, process notebooks, and something called provocations, all with a focus on AI. Can you break those down for us? What's the thinking behind this three-pronged approach?
Sure, each one of these elements is tackling a different aspect of this AI and writing connection. Like take those 3-2-1 tasks. They're all about giving students actual hands-on experience with these AI writing tools. But, and this is key, it's not just about learning to use the tools themselves.
Right, because anyone can type a prompt.
Exactly. It's about much more than that. Students are actually tasked with comparing and contrasting different tools, looking at their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
They're even seeing how just changing a prompt a little can totally change the output you get from these AI writers.
So it's about becoming the director, not just the user.
Exactly. Like, say a student is given the prompt, write an essay about social media's impact on society. With the 3-2-1 task, they might compare what 3 different AI tools come up with using that exact same prompt. Or even just play around with tweaking the prompt and seeing how that changes the AI's response.
That's really interesting. So they learn to see the tools almost as dot collaborators, or at least something to be experimented with.
Right. It's about encouraging that critical eye from day one.
Yeah.
Now, those process notebooks you mentioned, they're really about bringing it back to the human element of writing,
Yeah.
which, let's face it, can get a bit lost in this whole AI craze.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes I find myself rushing to just get something done, but it's often those moments of actually slowing down, reflecting, really wrestling with an idea. That's where the good stuff happens.
You got it. And that's exactly what these notebooks encourage. It's about documenting the whole writing journey. Brainstorming, drafting, feedback, revisions, the works.
So it's like a behind-the-scenes look at the writing process.
Yes. And it forces them to slow down, think about their process, and really own their voice in the end, which is so important in this age of AI, where it's easy to get swept up in how quick and easy these tools can be. Vin University is reminding students good writing, it's a process, not just a product. And they're not just throwing students in the deep end with these notebooks either. There's actual structure and guidance within them, with targeted questions to prompt deeper analysis and consideration of different perspectives. It's way more than just journaling. It's structured, focused reflection.
I love that. So with the 3-2-1 tasks, they're demystifying these AI tools. And with the process notebooks, they're really reinforcing that human element that's crucial to good writing. Such a fantastic foundation. Now, let's talk about these provocations, because that name alone sounds like it's taking things to a whole other level.
Provocations, yeah, that's a good word for them. They really are designed to spark debate, get students thinking differently about the role of AI, not just in writing, but in, well, thinking itself.
Okay, so give us an example. How are these provocations actually playing out in the syllabus?
One that jumped out at me, and I think this will be relevant to your listeners who are interested in the future of work, involves this really thought-provoking scenario. Students are basically given this hypothetical case study, right? Imagine a company using AI to completely automate its creative content, marketing materials, even script writing, you name it.
Wow, that's not even that far-fetched anymore, with everything we're seeing pop up in the news.
Right, it's like the future's already here. But anyway, the provocation asks students to really dig into the implications of this. What does this mean for human creativity, for jobs? Is it even possible to talk about original work in this kind of context? It really pushes them beyond just the mechanics of using AI for writing to thinking about the bigger picture.
It's like they're using these real-world scenarios, ripped from the headlines, to make those bigger questions hit home.
Exactly. And remember those process notebooks we were talking about? They play a crucial role here too. Students are asked to use them to reflect on these provocations, grapple with the complexities, maybe even come up with their own solutions. It takes them beyond just consuming information to actively engaging.
Nice. It all ties together. So they're using AI as a lens to not just teach writing skills, but to encourage that deeper critical thinking. Now let's move to the elephant in the room when it comes to AI in academia, the ethics of it all. It seems like every other day there's a new article about AI plagiarism or misuse.
It's a huge topic, and to their credit, Vin University isn't shying away from it in this syllabus.
It's definitely refreshing to see.
Totally. What I found interesting is that they've baked these ethical considerations into the course itself. It's not just an afterthought or tacked on at the end.
So how are they actually approaching these ethical dilemmas within the curriculum?
Well, right off the bat, the syllabus is very clear about expectations for AI use and authorship. Transparency is key. Students are expected to be upfront about when and how they use AI tools in their work. And it's not just a one-time mention. It pops up throughout the entire syllabus.
Transparency is a great start. But what about those blurry lines? When does using AI as a tool cross the line into plagiarism? How does Vin University deal with that gray area?
And that's where things get even more interesting. They've developed these really specific guidelines for AI collaboration. The goal is to provide clarity on those tricky situations. For instance, using AI to brainstorm research topics. That's encouraged. But copying an AI-generated introduction word for word without giving credit, absolutely not. They're drawing that line in the sand.
That's incredibly helpful. It sounds like they're trying to empower students to use AI responsibly and ethically, not just hit them with a bunch of rules and say, figure it out.
Exactly. They even have a whole section in the syllabus called Navigating the Ethics of AI Writing, where they provide students with concrete examples of good and bad AI use in an academic context. Real-world stuff.
It's like they're providing a roadmap for students to navigate this new terrain, which is so important. But with all this talk about challenges and dilemmas, it's easy to get stuck on the downsides of AI. This syllabus isn't all doom and gloom, though, right?
Not at all. Actually, one of the things that really struck me about Vin University's approach here is their focus on giving students skills that go way beyond just, knowing how to use the latest AI tool. They're talking about skills that'll be essential no matter what, especially as AI becomes more and more integrated into, well, everything.
So it's not just about adapting to AI, it's about using it to actually level up those core human skills. What sort of skills are we talking about here? Can you give us some specifics from the syllabus?
Definitely. One of the big ones that jumps out is critical evaluation. And this isn't just about being able to tell if a video is a deep fake or if some article online is AI generated, although that's definitely important these days.
Oh, absolutely. With how sophisticated these AI tools are getting, it's getting harder and harder.
It is. And this syllabus knows that. They really stress the need for students to develop that careful eye, to be able to look at information from any source, whether it's AI or a human, and really evaluate it.
So a healthy dose of skepticism is a good thing. Don't just believe everything you read or see online.
Exactly. Question everything. But it goes deeper than that, too. Along with this whole critical evaluation piece, they also highlight effective communication.
Interesting. You'd think with AI writing reports and emails and everything else, communication skills would become less important, not more.
You'd think so, right. But it's actually the opposite. As AI takes over those more basic writing tasks, being able to communicate clearly, persuasively, engagingly, that becomes even more valuable.
It's that human touch that really shines through. Empathy, humor, all those things AI can't quite replicate yet.
Exactly. And those are exactly the kinds of skills this syllabus is designed to cultivate. It's understanding that even in a world drowning in AI-generated content, being able to tell a story, to make a persuasive argument, to just connect with your audience on a human level, that's a superpower.
AI is making us raise the bar. We have to be better, more creative, more human to stand out.
That's a great way to put it. This syllabus, it's not just about academic writing in the age of AI. It's about how to succeed in a world that AI is rapidly changing. And what's exciting is these skills, critical thinking, communication, adaptability, those aren't limited to academia. They're useful in any field out there.
It's like they're giving students the tools to not just survive, but thrive in this future that's being shaped right before our eyes, where AI will definitely have its place, but where human ingenuity, creativity, that human spark, those are the things that will really make the difference. This has been such a fascinating look at what Vin University is doing. It sounds like they're really on the cutting edge of figuring out how to navigate this new world of AI in a thoughtful and ethical way. We've covered so much ground, from the specifics of how they're integrating AI tools into their classrooms, to those big ethical questions, to that feeling of, well, maybe this isn't all doom and gloom. Maybe AI can actually help us become better thinkers, better communicators, more adaptable learners. So to our listeners, we leave you with this. If AI can help us unlock that potential, what will you do with it? Keep those questions coming, and we'll be back next time with another deep dive into the world of AI.